ladies and gentlemen, to the PUBG European League here in Berlin. I'm Lee Demon Smith, and joining me is Lauren Pansy Scott once again, and we're going to classic Erangel. Everybody's happy. Way.
Love a bit of Erangel.
They love a bit of Erangel.
I like it too. I can't be changed.
How bloody amazing is it that N47 are now in the top 4?
What?
What?
I mean, I
For
felt
a
like they
rookie
deserved
team.
it though.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like you watch them this season, you think they got some fire to them, some punch to it, and I like that. I like to see it.
They've not come in scared at all. They've been looking to take fights. Clearly, Sanhok has been a place where they've picked up a lot of points. I'd be interested to see how much of a percentage it is just on their
That
load.
would be sick.
They've definitely done well on Miramar,
Yes,
but
get on
Erangel has not been great for them.
No. Well, let's see if they can hold that 4th spot.
Well, I mean, they're benefiting from the fact that G2, Team Liquid are having a bad time. NIP, you know, obviously had a good start today. They picked up about 30, 40 points already today, which is a good haul in one day in itself. But we'll see how it works out. FaZe Clan there, you see, warming up, and everybody else is ready to go. Team Liquid, they're in the Spider-Man suits, but we haven't seen too much of them coming out so far. Let's see, Classic Erangel was where they were having problems the last 2 weeks. It's where really the problems began. Have they got it in them to try and fix the issues? Because they need to. They're in danger of slipping down. G2 down to 7th place now. It's, the global points, you know, they will have carried some over from Phase 2, but they start drifting, it's going to get a little testy.
I really want a Zaki circle.
We had one last week. It was great.
Yeah, I hated you guys for getting that. I was
but that's okay, because I
jealous.
hated it when you got the town circle. I was like, you got San Martin, this is not fair.
Yeah, it's actually really fun. Just to rub it in slightly. But yeah, no, I want to go up to Zaki. I just want to see that portion of the map as well, like North Georgia Pond.
Yeah.
Just love to see it. So I was trying to think of like what circles have I not had the chance to cast in a while, like ruins, not the fields, actual ruins.
Yeah.
Love them.
We haven't. Yeah, we've not seen a circle in and around Rozhok at all for a long time.
Yeah.
Yeah, anywhere around that dead central point. But
school ending.
Down to the river being there, I guess. And obviously ruins, you know, with the water town nearby, etc. N47 actually going over to the tempo loot, effectively. What was the West Coast?
Oh, that's a throwback. I was like, wait, that one. There we go.
The old loot over the side there, because obviously CrowCrowd are in around the GAT, where they tend to go these days. ENCE into North Georgia as well. So a couple of positional, obviously, changes based off the flight path being pretty horrible for some of those teams up in the north. Maybe we'll see if it works out better for... I was always surprised that ENCE decided to stick with Kameshki Skalba Loot, but it is going to be a southern circle. And, well, pretty much the chopsticks just south is the central point. Obviously, those hills, we've seen a lot of teams cluster around there.
Yeah, and it's not Zaki, so I'm devastated.
So you're upset already.
Yeah, I'm out of this. You can solo cast it.
I'm
Crack
done.
on.
I'm off.
I'm out.
Headset down, away you go.
See you later. No, I love a bit of variety. There we go. Let's look at who's in good spots. Obviously, there's a couple of teams who will benefit massively. Anyone out in the east, a little bit tougher on the way in.
Did you see the highlight? I saw Ibby actually highlight it from PKL. The crate fight, Genji versus...
No, I didn't see that.
I can't think who the heck it was, but it was such a nice fight. It was 2v4 in the end. Started off as a 1v, and bear in mind it was like as you drop there, so it was like no loot, sort of scrappy loot in around the crates. It was a really good fight at the start. Showed the talent, the skills of the Genji boys. We're expecting to see them at PGC. We'll see, of course, when to go yet. A couple of weeks still remaining. Team Liquid, will they be there? We can only hope that they can turn it around.
They will, but it's like
what
Liquid
form?
turns up, right? Because you can't go into international tournaments in this stage or this form, if I'm honest. I don't think they can get away with it. I want to see more from them, I really do. I'm worried, though. It's hard to not be worried. You start to see those issues becoming more regular. And I felt like Liquid previously always had those moments where you're like, oh, they've had a bad game, but then they bounce right back. They'd be right back at it, but they just haven't recovered yet.
No, it's clearly been a confidence knock, I think.
Something's
because
got to them.
The thing is that they're making almost the plays that they would normally make, and it's just not working out for them. Whether that's down to the lobby of teams changing and adjusting and pretty much matching them almost. You know, maybe they were benefiting points from, I would hate to say they're benefiting points from the lesser teams that used to be in PEL, but I don't think that's the case. But we'll see. you know, they're making their same plays, they're making the moves. You can see Gemty was already got himself pretty much the central compound the rest of Liquid want to go to. Let's see whether they go for this widespread. CrowCrowd themselves, obviously, you know, the backyard is the center point for them, so they need to be joining together. TSM, where are they going to rotate? Is it going to be Potato Hill? Looks like it. Heading off to the north. Don't want to get caught out. This has been, these sort of circles, it's been a problem for TSM of late, based on G2 kind of setting up traps for them.
Yep.
They've been running parallel with them a number of times and sort of losing a player and rotate. So TSM looks like they're going to gamble for the Potato Hill and then swing it in, maybe even north side of Pochinki, we'll see.
Well, let's not forget, they've had a pretty rough day in that regard as well. They've not been getting clean rotations. They completely wiped Liquid, basically, but then they fumbled on Miramar. They've been having a tough time. So I feel like their confidence would just, you know, plummet if they did get picked up by G2 here. I'm hoping they managed to adjust maybe a little rotation, but it seems somewhat similar. Little ahead of the Knights.
They've gone over the East Bridge and then all the way over Sosnovka before as well. The last week they did. So that didn't really work out for them either, because they came in the back of, I think it was FaZe and Na'Vi. They're well aware, obviously, because everybody saw 7 getting out in Novo. FaZe would have seen it, you know, TSM would have seen it because they were bailing at pretty much the same time. So they're aware that Sosnovka wasn't the route they could take. Speaking of slow rotating teams, Na'Vi's still on the loop path, not in any hurry to get to a central point at the moment.
Seem very blasé about it all, don't they? Which is a bit worrying when I'm seeing Jeems, Ibby quite close by.
And IP have come they're almost central. They're going for the Harry Potter, I think, maybe. It's one of the central spots they tend to go for.
But let's not forget, Na'Vi also did have that great game on Miramar where they came in to the circle late.
Really
but
late,
here, you can't be caught in between. You either have to be doing that late game play in, or you kind of hunker down at the start. So I hope they bring themselves together. Again, it is a 5-minute pressure point, but they have to be on their toes. N47, with that new kind of spot that they're looking at, might come around and surprise Na'Vi here.
Yeah, Na'Vi look like they're happy in the compound. They've got those two big, very large compounds, and as you say, N47 might fancy challenging for it. Coming out of Quarry, I think they may just sit in the Quarry. Hillside, CrowCrowd, a couple of shots onto NIP as they pass on by, looking towards the south chopsticks area. MBS is already here and down, and they're going to be flushed out by Tiikzu. So NIP will lose the first man of Erangel.
Yeah, and CrowCrowd just seem to have, like, you know, the hot hand today. They can just win those fights. They're just doing well for them. There's a weird little pull-up there as well. I don't know what the read was on that, or maybe just a mistake. Simple as that. Maybe he spun out, who knows. All that aside, though, ENCE slowly but surely working their way around. They are just ahead of DESPERADO, so I don't think they noted. TRYFFELI's a little late coming out from the north as well, so ENCE aren't as their full 4 here. They're with 3 currently.
FaZe the only team not in the circle right now. They're still just coming out of Mill to Power. Everybody else is there or thereabouts. Obviously, it's a large circle to begin with. Desperados looks like Hospital and then south down over the fields for them. ENCE going to continue past. DA in the yellows coming out down from the mountain. DA here in the yellows, you see. ENCE driving by. Full vision. Reciprocity just sort of south of Ruins right now. TSM sitting north of Pochinki and around the edges, the outskirts of Pochinki, if anything. Wondering, we did have a Pochinki finish last week, actually. It was quite an entertaining one. NIP coming out on top in that one. We'll see. It's certainly possible it could pull that way. A lot of land to play with at the moment.
Yeah, this is still so, you know, readily available to anywhere. We've seen a couple of Quarry finishes around this marker. That kind of anywhere around it can definitely happen just because you're far enough away from the water.
I think you've seen a chopstick. So we used to see them a lot,
it
right? Where ENCE was, it used to always be
time.
there.
Yeah.
It's been a long time since then.
Seems, and honestly, I'm not that opposed to not seeing it because I hate those open field endings. I used to hate just seeing snakes everywhere. And I feel like if there's a little bit of terrain cover that you can play with, it's exciting. And if you have utility, sure, it's fun. But I think there's more exciting battles to be had. So I do hope eventually they do move away from that. But for now, I see GamerLegion getting a couple of shots in the south from Raise Your Edge. Nothing too crazy. This is just teams, you'd only see someone getting knocked either making a terrible error or maybe in corn transition. That's about it. If you're coming in late and you're sending it central, which would be a very surprising act to pull off, yeah, you'll get punished. I don't think that's going to happen. I'd say FaZe, the Knights could get a little bit of attention here, but beyond that, it should be somewhat safe.
So a wide unsupported spread from Team Liquid, I would say, because that bit in the middle is a big hill of trees covering it. 7, I think, are going to slot themselves on that hill, judging by their position, or they're about to crash Jeems in the compound. Yes, they're pulling to the left. Edelweiss is pulling in, and Team Liquid are about to get crashed. Let's see if it works out. Jeems They don't get the initial knock, which is a big problem.
Third-party.
BeautflDeath gets the third party from the hillside, and now Team Liquid, they're trying to evacuate out the back. Senor and Co have got them covered. This is a CAS battle covering on Team Liquid.
They've been able to fall back to cover. That's one benefit, and the rest are now going back, but they can't just flood into this. They can support from the hill. It's a very complimentary position, but then you're also banking on your 2 players being able to hold back everyone on the other team. What?
That's a South string.
How
okay.
did Na'Vi know these things?
Yeah, I mean, it's paid out. Actually, the Team Liquid compound, so they have to fight for it. So now Gemty Samty up on the hillside. They're going to try and provide the cover fire position to keep 7 at bay, but they have to contest with the fact that Na'Vi are also on the hillside in Senya's position. Speaking of Na'Vi, N47 on the move again, maybe looking towards one of the compounds at the moment. Looks like they're going to go down for the coastal positions. GamerLegion do the same.
Look at all of them. They're just sending it down. It's
a big old migration. I tell you what, it's getting very messy here.
Oh
This is what I wanted to see. DA, Reciprocity, TSM are involved in this as well up in the hillside. Oh my God, what's going on in the back there? So Razor Edge have gone for that strong compound, but FaZe and the Knights in the fields at the moment.
Trying to find.
There's nowhere to go. There's no compounds.
There is so little left here. Now DA, that's up in the north. That's them coming down further south. It looks like 7 have moved off from this, or at least some of 7 might be finding a shack here or just playing in the hills. Yes, you can play the forest. So maybe that's what FaZe and the Knights will have to do, split apart and play the forest out of this? I don't know. This is a...
Well, 7 bailed 2 out of this, and now they've got FaZe going straight towards him. mxey is pretty much dead, goes down, and the car will finish off Sadovnik. Oh, no, but Aitzy goes down as well, so that's 2 from FaZe gone.
Oh, God, 7. Poor old Buster.
The Knights are going to benefit from it. They just pulled up and just going to finish off 7. So 7 went for this 2-2 split. FaZe have lost 3, I think, in this rotate. Fuzzface is all the way down on the coast of Ferry Pier.
He's just going to the
ocean. He's literally ditched it into the water of Ferry Pier. And Na'Vi now have just actually eliminated from the hillside the Knights in the back.
Yeah, welcome to what happens when it's not a traditional circle. This is what happens. Teams get absolutely punished. And Na'Vi are raking in the points. This is 4 kills already. A couple of them are little kind of steals here and there. This is nice from them. They've got good positioning. They're being involved in it all. NIP have benefited wonderfully, but that northern side, Lee, it's still so rife. DA on the move, ENCE on the move, TSM, Reciprocity is seeing all of this.
And where ENCE going to go, they're just going to have to sit on that field. So both the Knights and FaZe are down to 1. They're the ones that basically tried to send it across the fields. And there was a couple of little shacks that they could have stopped at. I don't know really what they had to play. Let's have a look at it. This is Timmy catching Murtoff. Oh, well, look at that. The power slide into the death. No way for him to go there. DA were caught out. They were at the yellows, of course, up south of the mountain. So they had a long way to traverse. ENCE also heading. Speaking of those shacks, I think SKUIJKE is going for one of those shacks, judging by his trajectory on the map. Yep, he's going to decide it is time to play. I mean, at phase 2 to start deciding to go for shacks. That's, yeah, look, they've gone for a 2-2 on the shacks. That's not, what's the word I'm after?
Ideal? Let's just go for that.
You're basically banking on position points.
Wait, hold on. NIP, they were close to Na'Vi. I didn't think they were this close. Now, I guess you could say that Senor was way out on a limb. Way off on his own. Lovely position to complement the 3, but you are expendable. I was surprised he showed that much.
Yeah, I think what I'm trying to say is that they're basically not committing, they're admitting they're not going to win the game. Is when you're making that play at phase 2, you're basically saying, there's nothing we can do here other than just play for positions. Because your vehicles are going to be ruined. Sure, you've got a shack, but there's not a lot else. To be fair, with the way the circle's gone, it's shrunk in. We know that phase 4 will pull north. So it actually could work out for ENCE at this stage. DA have got a similar spot at the moment. TSM, where are they going to go? It's going to be some fancy driving coming out of Michael, but is there anything to benefit from this? Gustav's already taken a bit of hits. It looks like it's going to be the ditch.
Oh,
not a good ditch to take.
Clutching at straws, aren't you? You're looking at your teammates like, don't come to me. Go anywhere else. And they're going to be crashing into a beautiful death. No sights on. Iron-sighted up. Gets down 1. Plays into the second. Oh, he needs to reload. It's too little too late. But the damage was definitely done. And
third party. Oh, my God. Michael just killed Rory.
Killed Rory? How?
Okay.
Maybe you just shot the body? I don't know. I don't know how that happens.
I assume he thought it was another DA down.
Maybe.
Member? I don't know, really. Not too sure. Okay. That happened. Reciprocity up in the north, CrowCrowd up in the north. Where are they going to go? Desperado's trying to work their way in. I like it. Desperado's worked their way into that big compound. So they were in the similar spot, up in the north, and they went way around the west, came in way around the edge of the quarry, all the way down the west road, and they've worked their way in. And now they're going to find themselves into that large compound area just to the side of Na'Vi. Nice driving SIMSY. Wouldn't expect less from a Norwegian. Spinning it round, and NRP holding the hillside. They're about to get pushed by CrowCrowd, though. Oh no, here we go again.
Oh, another here we go.
Take
Round,
3.
Was it 3, 4, 5? Where are you going to go now? Let's see what they opt for. Again, you can get more teams in this forest. It's not fun, and it's not safe, but it can house teams. There are some snakes up there. You got Drayden, you got Chris out on his own. You got a little bit of Na'Vi vision towards it, but there is room and reciprocity. Again, send it well enough.
The vehicle compounder, boys.
Did find the shot there, but this should be recoverable if they have smokes.
They should back one of those UAZs up and get the full compound set up there. I think, now they're starting to do it with the Dacia, so they're already realizing where the danger's coming from. It was TRYFFELI from the little block compound. So, G2 are playing edge again. Very much way out on the edge as well. That's not good for Miroku. There's no backup for him to get back away from that one. Vard and Gaxi, the only two remaining for NIP now. Yeah,
they're so prone down. They're so dug in so deep. They're just not moving here. Because they have nowhere to go. That's it. This is where they hold until they have to move. So it is just kind of prone and hope for the best. It looks like maybe Vard would be next on the chopping block. Or maybe, I don't know where CrowCrowd want to go to. That's the thing. They might kind of look past Gaxi, who could potentially maybe cause a problem. And then if Vard, okay, up in the north we go. Right, again, Na'Vi, prime spot here. TSM not too bad considering. And somehow, with all of this going on, how has Liquid gotten away with this?
Yeah, they managed to keep all 4 in there, and their compound is still inside the circle. Suddenly, ENCE's play, or Desperate, has kind of worked out. Here we go, Team Liquid making the breach on 7. They know there's only 2 in there. Meanwhile, we see Gaxi in trouble. He's getting pressured by Misa. Team Liquid making the play, though. CrowCrowd and Edelweiss, last 2 in there. There goes Gaxi. Team Liquid come in. They've lost 1 in the process. 2 down, actually. CrowCrowd the last man, but he's
out.
He's changed compounds.
No, I'll switch here. I'll take yours. It's a nicer house. It's swapping homes. There we go.
Let's find
himself a little bit of armor.
Did he just get a new T2 vest out of that?
I think he might have. I don't know if it's clean, but that's not a bad little pickup, is it?
Got James' sweat marks in it.
Oh.
And he's all right.
James is dead now, so it's all right. You won't miss it too much. Outside of that, but let's look at how Desperado's adjust to this, because they definitely heard CrowCrowd fighting NIP earlier. They don't know who's who, of course. I like this hold. It's such a scary one because you're so open to your back, but Na'Vi aren't really looking this way. So I quite like what Desperados are doing here. They're kind of setting up for CrowCrowd pushing through this.
Well, Sims is the one covering with the rock. CrowCrowd going for the 2-2 split. Trying to catch around. CrowCrowd found out. He did manage to down Ibby, but he should be revived. No problem. There we go. Engagement starts. SIMSY gets a couple of hits onto Tiikzu. He's going to back away.
Forest is about to get a little bit more exciting as well. As much as Reciprocity were okay, they've stabilized. You can see the G2 is starting to just kind of siphon their players slightly further along that roadside.
And GamerLegion coming out of Ferry Pier over the road as well. So it's getting very contested. CrowCrowd decided to back away from this one. They're going to swing around. Now, the northern run, it will run them into the backside of Team Liquid's compound if they continue their trajectory. We'll see whether they do continue that way. Now, over to these southern forest hills. This is where it's going to get a little sticky. So, deep down south, N47 have made their move to cross the road. They're going to be running parallel with that road, and it is a pretty clear shot along that road, so that's a problem for GamerLegion. Of course, they are still further south. Bjorn has made the move, but as you can see, G2 slowly encroaching upon Reciprocity's positions.
Yeah, and the one thing I would say about this hillside is you can be so close to players. Like on the map, it just looks terrifying, mostly because they're all the same color, almost. But you can survive around each other. But once it starts, it's hard to recover safely. So knocks can be actually pretty big in this position. So even just getting that first couple of knocks here and there, you can see just those small deflates actually make a big difference in this. Chris kind of just kept safe by the HUD, of course, but they hold a nice little divot as such.
Well, Vard, the last man, hoping for placement points. TSM pretty much in the central point, their little shack with the burnt out Dacias. Scoom down low. How visible is he, I wonder, to GamerLegion when they make their move? Very dramatic for Vard, but he's still not moving. Zoom, zoom. Stays still, doesn't move, doesn't even twitch. Circle, ENCE. I take back everything I said about ENCE's play in Phase 2. It has absolutely paid off. A genius move from miikaz there, making the play for ENCE and sending his team into the no man's land of desperation, and the fields are playing off.
Not quite desperation, but the Desperado's going to take the little bit of a fight. They're already getting good connections towards Tiikzu. He's in a bit of trouble. Gets a heal off. He's okay. Where is the response? I love this play from SIMSY and TomiL, utilizing the edge, flanking around. Had to get past Temi, and they do that, but there's still more to get through here.
They've been very active teams today, Desperados and CrowCrowd. Obviously, we saw them with a first and third finish on the previous Miramar game. CrowCrowd coming out on top in that one. G2, it's sending time. We're going for ENCE's shack. That's going to be the play. Now, they have got the support, remember, with the other shack of the side.
Pre-molly.
Pre-molly out the side. Nice spray down with TRYFFELI. One more to go. Tries to get the pre-spray, but it's not going to work out. Will they get shot in the back? That's the question.
Oh
Braexco will go down, and G2 will fall. They do not get the shack, despite ENCE losing 2 in the process.
What a massacre that was over there, and the push continues between the Desperados and CrowCrowd.
Oh, no. miikaz was trying to get in the car to go and get the revives in, but SIMSY has just caught him in the open.
That's pretty brutal for ENCE. They could have been okay, but look at this. Look at who else is sending it. Raise your edge.
And they just saw that shack. They third-partied it. They
so smart.
Look how many vehicles are there.
And also the amount of loot they're about to pick up too. They're happy with this one. Get in, get the job. You've got cover everywhere.
You've got so much cover around that shack. You've made it a massive compound. There's about 6 or 7 vehicles all clustered around it. GamerLegion just obliterated by N47 and Reciprocity. Completely caught in between 2 hard bodies effectively there. N47 doing the job. So G2 leaving them, opened up that hillside. Meanwhile, we go back to the hills where Desperados and CrowCrowd were playing. Well, that didn't happen. CrowCrowd finished that fight off. They have to continue pushing down the hill, though. Drayden still watching and waiting. N47 still with 4 alive. They're making the push now around the south to Reciprocity. CrowCrowd looking towards Team Liquid.
Yeah, and I'm looking at where Team Liquid go here. Yes, they have this foot of the hill, but you can see it's not very safe. Couple of shots coming in. CrowCrowd might be out of time. Tiikzu's in. I don't think his teammate's going to make it. He does. Surprising N47, realizing they are not alone. Drayden somehow survived in this, but N47 turned their sights very closely to Reciprocity here.
Shiv's so close. Does Page just catch a glimpse? I think he did. I think they're going to go for the shot, but it doesn't matter. Scoom's there in support. That's what they needed. Manages to get the shot down. Evil will respond. A quick nade over the top. Shiv has still not shown himself as Vasku finishes Scoom off. Shiv and Udyr and Drayden also coming in behind N47 as well now. The circle has moved to the fields. I can't believe that. That shack where Raise Your Age have moved to is almost the central point. I can't believe that's paying off. ENCE are going to be kicking themselves there, thinking, how did we not hang on to it? They tried everything they could with their might, but...
God, and here's me saying I hate field endings. Thanks, PUBG. Nice one.
Good job,
This is
Brendan.
quite exciting, though. I'll give it that. Shiv could play spoiler. That's what he's done so far. Ivor goes down, but he needs to make it 2. Otherwise, it will be all in vain. I don't think Udyr is close enough to be able to avenge anyone. Drayden starts to linger, and that lead could be a very good nade.
Let's have a look. Let's have a look. That's a 3-man nade. So close to catching them all off guard. I think he fell just a little bit short. He does manage to get the spray down. He's got Ivor and T-Bone down. The second nade will confirm some points for them. There we go. There's the double. Switching across the side. That looked like he was almost to Vasku. Vasku forced to go to the right. He gets Page down as well. And Drayden finally goes down to Vasku, but he just absolutely knackered any chances of N47 picking up a win here.
That was pretty good. Na'Vi on the move as well. They've gone right center, maybe taking their card, trying to set up any sort of cover they can. And it's time to drop the backpacks and go snake mode for them. There's not much cover to be had at this point. Yeah, there's a couple of shacks, but they have bodies galore. And I'm looking at where the Liquid go now.
Yeah, they're using those tiniest little ditches. We saw TSM almost going for it, right? It's the same ditch that Gustav pulled up in. Actually got killed in, I think, by Team Liquid or 7, I'm not too sure. Nade range is in. BestLosh down to about 10 health. The second one will finish him. There we go. Michael take it down. So TSM confirmed the kills. Navi down in 6th place in the fields. I can't believe these shacks are paying off. I still can't believe it's working. Look, Razor Edge have so much cover. They
Honestly,
have 7 kills. Look at all the vehicles outside their compound.
I just love the fact that they saw that fight go down. They saw ENCE under pressure. They saw the whole scenario, and they didn't hesitate for a second. They were straight in there. Any of these other teams, technically, if they had a car, could have still tried that. They just went at it, and I'm so happy to see that. Here's the kind of one line, that kind of consistent ditch that runs up a little closer towards Razor Edge. But the problem is, someone like Rustanmar could probably see this as well, but he ain't going to peek for the life of him.
He's creeping down the hillside. This is an important game for Team Liquid. They've had a torrid time today. Again, continuing on the last 2 weeks that they've had some problems. Any points they can get from this game are very much welcome with the top 5 here. Vazco out in the fields. Nobody's looking his way, really, apart from mxey, it seems, who's kind of got an eye on things. The 2 little shacks still in there. TSM and Razor Edge. TSM sent it for this shack a long time ago, along with ENCE. Rustanmar trying to line it up. There's Vazco's POV. As you can see, yeah, Gustav, I think it is, that's taking shots towards him.
Yeah, 30 seconds of life left. Ooh, shows a little leg. Shows a little more leg. Gustav likes that.
It's just the Norwegian leg, just keep poking it there. Actually, it's Vazco's finish, isn't he? Is he finish? No, Page's finish. I'm not sure which.
Okay, now, Razor Edge as well. Okay, not only do they have the hard cover, but look at the way the terrain works for them as well. They actually have a little bit of like a roll on the hill. That's so OP. Vazco is, again, only going to be alive as long as those smokes still stand. 5
kills for the Spaniard, Coldamenta. Good game for him here, it seems. He's benefited a lot from the third party in Vazco. Everybody wants Vazco. The question is what the Team Liquid do. So they are sneaking in while Razor Edge focus on trying to get this kill away along with TSM. Everybody 60 is just like, right, that's it. Pull out the M4, spray him down, boys. He's in there somewhere. Oh no, he showed himself. He showed himself. Who gets it? Coldamenta, number 6. Good job for the Spaniard. And now Rustanmar is creeping closer. The problem for Razor Edge is a couple of nades. If Team Liquid may well have some nades there. Oh, Rustanmar just got a good slice of health.
Hold on. That's a big nade.
That's a nade. That's a nade coming in. mxey dodged it. Does it catch anyone out?
SIMSY
got caught out.
mxey.
Team Liquid, look at Ibby. Ibby's right on the backs. Team Liquid come charging in. 60 around the side. Ibby goes down. The nades are raining in. Rustanmar gets mxey down. Coldamenta and 60, the last 2 standing. What are TSM doing? TSM are coming across the fields as well. They're trying to catch the third party. Everybody piling on to Razor Edge.
TSM are playing like winners here. They need to be full committal to this, so they cannot allow Razor Edge to play out. Yeah, it's put down all utility, move up, play smart. Have they overextended? That's going to be the question now because it's not that quick, decisive action. They need to consider where they're going here. They can't just run out in the fields anymore because they don't know where everyone is. Team Liquid still stand, and Jemty could potentially find a big angle on them.
A 2v2v2. Where do we go? Circle shrinks in, centers up. Most teams are happy. I think Jemty has just about enough coverage on that circle point to get close enough. SAMTY now watching them. Both these little shacks are inside on phase 8. Now the question is, can you get to that center point? That's what Jemty's trying to do now. Try and get as central as he can without being spotted. Found himself a bush. He's happy. SAMTY just on a little peek. Just down a little peek, see what I can see.
Do Razor Edge have any other utility? Coldamenta doesn't. I'm looking for SKUIJKE. Does he have any smokes? Well, anything to play off? There was a lot of dead bodies here. There's ENCE in 2. They've had some crashes coming in.
I think there's about 8 bodies there at the moment.
Have they got any more? Same can be asked of
maybe 6.
TSM. Okay, so nades here. I think that's a Molotov coming through.
Very aggressive from Michael.
And it's now trying to paint pictures of information. There is Coldamenta did find SAMTY. They've got the nades. They've been picking them up.
That's number 7 for Coldamenta. What a game he's having. Jemty's little move has paid off. Do we expect anything less from Jemty? Back in his FaZe days, now in his Team Liquid days, he is the ultimate snake.
He is.
What a shot from Gustav. Just popped the head of SKUIJKE. Luckily for him, he had the helmet to cover him
Oh,
off.
and look at that utility. 2 nades, 8 smokes. He can paint this map however he wants. As long as he doesn't make crazy mistakes, he has a get-out-of-jail-free card on this. And that's huge.
And he's in the center. He has the center point. Razor Edge have to move out of this compound with more vehicles. It is basically a scrapyard. Condimenta takes a little blip from the blue. Michael up on the hills on the top of the shack. 5 kills for him. Some big individual performances so far. Much needed points for TSM as well. Obviously pressure in the top there, trying to chase down FaZe Clan. Team Liquid need everything they can as they drop out of that top 5 for the first time.
And this is where all of that utility comes into play. You start controlling the map with this. Yeah, it's for limited times, but it gives you some semblance of safety, and it gives you the moves to be the aggressor. Whether they work with or not, we'll find out. Michael is trying to play off the back of Gustav. Gustav holds the angles, and the same can be said either way. Nicely played between them. Gemty probably going to try and play off the back of the contact with Razor Edge, but with the blue moving soon, he's the one who's going to have to move forward, so he's already starting that process. Razor Edge somewhat at the same time doing the same thing.
Michael suspects but can't see. Everybody's dropping the bags. More smokes. More smokes.
But look at the angle it's keeping safe for him. He doesn't have to worry too much about that Razor Edge hut, which they probably won't be freely peeking, but now he can, you know, look around, he can check on those bushes. It's nice usage.
TSM with Gustav very much covering off the central position. The central point is kind of on the edge of the smoke just north of Gustav there. Trying to cover off. They have a relatively decent deflate on this field as well that dips down. There goes a couple of nades. That was going kind of towards SKUIJKE. It caught a chunk of SKUIJKE, that did.
Gemty's been spotted. That's Michael.
Michael will find him. That's 10 counts. And, well, TSM surely have this one. Do they, though? They have to land it. They don't know how much damage they did. Still the nade left for Michael. Where's he going to go? Where's he going to go? He's debating it. He's debating it, but there's no information because there's been no smokes thrown out from Razor Edge here.
No, Razor Edge do have the bushes to work off as well. Michael's nade is going to go probably to one of those.
Yeah, no,
chooses actually way too far away. Now, TSM are the more proactive, but the fight comes in. We're seeing the first bit of contact from Condimenta. That's a tag, but they still stand.
Does SKUIJKE see them on the other side of this car? They've got to realize that they're there. So Condimenta with the barrel sees Gustav.
Flash!
Flash bang. Is SKUIJKE going to go for it? Does SKUIJKE hop up off that flash? Condimenta does.
Blind.
Gets the spray. Gustav goes out. Michael goes down. Condimenta gets dropped. It's down to a one-on-one.
Michael.
And Michael pulls off the monster play. But by God, Condimenta almost made it work. 8 kills, I think, for Condimenta and Michael in that game. Some massive individual performances. But TSM get themselves back on the board once again with their 7th win.
How did that flash not last longer? You could see the animation on them. They were blind. And that first spray was so good. The second just didn't come through as clearly. Couldn't adjust it as well on the second player. But nice little end game coming out. And again, Razor Edge with that play into that little bit of a shack was probably the most imperative thing they did that entire game. Fantastic
stuff, TSM. Your victors. Sam's going to go down to see them.
We're heading on over to TSM, that chicken dinner. They're about to take the final battle there, 2-2-2. Let's have a chat and find out what they think about that. Michael, you have to talk us through the conversation that was happening there at the end.
I mean, we wanted Ryan Liquid to fight. We know they are both like fragments of teams. We thought for a long time when we were in them shacks, maybe there was a snake behind us. We'd want to hold our edge out. We didn't want to just throw it away once we killed Na'Vi. We thought maybe Na'Vi made a rash decision, and like they could have, and not cleared all the bushes before they dove in the middle, so their back could have easily been exposed. Yeah, we just try to hold our bushes out. We know like Liquid are only on it by the end. They were, has to be snake, and just take your time, use your utility right. Me and Gustav were actually planning on making like a double nade at the end. We are like timing it as well in the comms, like saying like, right, okay, in like 5 seconds we throw a double nade. But yeah, we didn't expect the last guy to have a wide position, but yeah, we just had to use the car at the end and just play it out. They had a good flash on us as well at the end. It was good.
It was a really good game. Here's the thing, last week you had possibly the worst performance in the FaZe. FaZe themselves have now overtaken you. Is the pressure, are you feeling a little bit of pressure now that you need to perform, and do you think that this is going to help you and possibly push you forward momentum-wise?
No, I don't think there's any pressure at all. I think we find like we played very bad last week, but we know what we did wrong. We just pulled the trigger too early, and maybe we played a bit too scared because we were first place, and we thought like, okay, maybe we can just take it a bit chill. Where today we've been pulling the trigger, even though the other games haven't been going that well. It's just been like small things that didn't go our way, and if they did, we could easily have won them. So I think we're still very confident now.
Very confident. What's the game plan for the last 2 weeks?
I don't know what the game plan is. Just get the most out of every game. I don't know what to say.
Of course win, but no real game plan, just more chicken dinners, right? Let's head on back to the desk.
TSM with a great spot in those final circles there to secure themselves the chicken dinner against Raise Your Edge. However, there were some great plays coming out there from Raise Your Edge towards the final moments. Joining me, Froz and Erangel. That was an interesting circle. It was a field circle, but there was a little bit of elevation, which did cause some teams some problems through kind of those final moments.
I mean, towards the end, I'd say the MVP for the game was Colomenta.
Oh, yeah.
Overall, he nearly took down TSM as well. First, the stun grenade, which made them wide, obviously, but also making headshots on both of them, actually knocking one of them. Very unfortunate that they didn't win the game in the end. But for me, they got spoiled as well. Ibiza, he did get close to the compound. We saw Rustanmar throw a nade as well. So if they had 4 guys alive there, it was their game to win right there.
All right, let's take a look at some of the highlights here from our first Erangel game of the day. And we had an interesting start, to say the least, when it came to some of these teams having to make the decisions to get towards the circles. But a lot of people started crashing. I think it was this particular... Was it this particular shed itself? That one was heavy contested.
Well, yeah, it was about 6 or 7 vehicles around that shack.
More than that.
Here you go. Here comes another one.
many of these shacks obviously was crashed. I felt very nostalgic about this because I felt we were back in 2018 with some of these, with some of these dive shacks, shack diving. We've seen that a few times, especially in 2018. But overall, the teams that were playing on the edge, they picked up so many kills as well. So I think we're going to see very linear in terms of points distribution for this game.
Here's Samty spoiling the game a little bit for Raise Your Edge there. But he got naded in the end there.
I mean,
Liquid, for once, being up there, top 3. They got themselves, what, 6 kills as well, I think? That's a huge win for Liquid right now. They need to grab any points they can.
Very close with Raise Your Edge there to being able to finish that off. Very unfortunate for them to fall down there. But TSM, great stuff. Michael gave us an answer that took about 45 minutes as well. But I love to hear it. You know, if they're going to speak, they want to speak, I'm all for it.
I love when they break down the games like they do, especially their Milkman did deliver.
He definitely did. Let's take a look at the points being delivered here to us. The 9th, 16th. G2, the only team to get themselves 0 points. They have not had a good time here so far in week number 5. And we take a look through our 1 to 8 up towards the top. TSM, 22 points. That now means they're going to be pushing themselves up just a little bit more, boys.
Probably in first place,
Yeah, I think they're going to be first place after this one, especially with FaZe going out first in this game with a very bad game. I mean, it was kind of terrible with that rotation, and they just got picked out one by one there.
We took a chance with the rotation, and obviously, especially in these circles that are this rough without any sort of kind of play you can do, you have to take some of those spots, especially on that ridge line there.
But it came down today, we're a little bit late with our rotation as well, so most of the teams had to sell themselves up. At the same time, head-to-head, TSM, Raise Your Edge. 12 kills for TSM. Not that much damage coming out, though.
No, it's kind of surprising that, but again, they were playing in a shack for some time. Kind of surprising that they're sitting on this, but overall, 1,380 for Raise Your Edge. Colomenta dealing a big amount of that.
Well, Colomenta had 8 kills, right?
7 or 8, yeah.
7 or 8, yeah.
7 or 8 out of the 9. That's a high number.
Yeah, definitely so. We'll take a look in a moment as to how that has resulted as well. Maybe I'm not even sure. But Michael got himself 8 kills during this. Jeez Louise. So Colomenta and Michael definitely absolute standouts here in this previous game. Nice.
The Milkman delivers.
That he does. Very impressive stuff by Michael up at the top with the 8 kills. So, with them pushing themselves even higher to greater heights there against FaZe, FaZe has not had the best of days just yet either.
Oh, TSM, back at the top, boys.
It was a minor blip on the road to victory here for TSM, as you mentioned, as they get first place off FaZe once again. And Team Liquid and G2 are still stuck in their spots. So M47 and NIP pushing against the Big Five.
Well, G2 is struggling a lot right now. And I mean, if we look at it, CrowCrowd, if they keep on going, they're going to be passing G2 in the next game here.
That's a very good point, actually, yeah. And we'll see if Razor Edge can start closing that gap from the 9th place that they're currently residing in.
So far, G2 6 points today in our 4 games. Oof. It is way below the average that we usually see from them, and they have to step up to step into this. And it's also to secure the PGC spot. Yes, they did have a big lead from Phase 2 with their global points that they got from there.
Yeah.
But it's slowly coming behind it, slowly messing up for them.
At the same time, though, FaZe, Liquid, 14 and 15 points each today. That's not much at all. Like, usually when they have a bad day, we would see them at around 26 to 29 points, something like that, which isn't too bad. Now, this is not good at all for them.
Let's take a look at the overall top killers as well as top damage dealers as well here for the FaZe so far, as up towards the top. Gustav up there, and Michael, actually with the 8 kills he just got, has pushed himself into the top 5.
I mean, we're not too surprised to see Michael up there. We're seeing him banging people out for every time.
Banging people out. It's very British.
And after the 84, we have mxey on 83 and Aitzy on 82, so it's still very close towards the top, guys.
Will anyone overtake ubah in this throughout the phase?
I don't think so.
No.
It's 2,500 points.
He's
more
significantly ahead.
Yeah. It's
I mean, that's a lot of damage. What we say is like when a team deals a lot of damage in one game, it's around 2.5k, and that's for the whole team.
Yeah.
Now he's 2.5k ahead of the next player.
Yeah, that's pretty big. So if you're a circular logo, you'll be doing well today. We have NIP, CrowCrowd, N47, and TSM. So by that definition, who are the next ones that could potentially win? Circle logos,
Pittsburgh
boys.
Knights.
Pittsburgh Knights. Who else?
Reciprocity. ENCE. GamerLegion.
I think my in-ear just died.
We're going to limit ourselves to only having one of these. So that's our anticipation for the next
circles. Yeah, there you go. So if it does happen, brilliant. If it doesn't, we're not going to be that bothered. I'm going to be honest.
You're going to read out all the winners. Going to be,
ooh, wow.
Ooh, only circular. Oh, yeah.
Wow, great. All right, moving on as fast as possible from our field ending, as I hear stage time is occurring in the background. Game number 65. With 64 done, we are officially 2/3 of the way through.
Exactly.
Lee was pondering over this briefly whilst he was on the casting desk. He was like, oh, 62, 2/3 in? No, Lee. So we're here. I don't know why I do these things. Let's see. Anyway, hashtag AskPEL. Make sure to ask us questions over there as well. Lee can probably angrily tweet at me saying, why are you calling me out for 2 games different? And that should be fine. We're going to go to a short break, ladies and gentlemen. When we return, it's our final map of Erangel. We'll get to it in just